I know there's obviously Mbappe. I know that saga of Mbappe is going on right now. Is a striker needed? Is needed? Because right now, especially after this preseason, I know Arsenal aren't or haven't previously been in the last year a team that's relied on one man to bang 20 goals or anything like that.
Yeah.
And there's still an argument for that football is not that way inclined anymore.
Yeah.
That you don't need a one man to do all of that. I guess Arsenal did prove that last season as well. Like we said earlier, Eddie's been playing on the left. Eddie started against Manchester United down the middle with Jesus on the bench. Jesus obviously started. I think he started one of those preseason games in the MLS match in a wide position. Maybe Eddie started down the middle.
Yeah, I think Eddie down the left. I think it was the MLS All-Stars game.
Yeah,
I think it looked on the graphic like it was going to be Jesus down the wing, but then it ended up the other way around.
Yeah, and then of course there is following Balogun, who's returned to the team. He's on the US tour, but obviously rumors intensify and he's leaving. Inter Milan have now been the latest team to show interest in him. Do we need the striker? Do we need I'm very convinced. I think I said to you already. I think next season, end of next season, Nketiah's gone. Like on the assumption that Balogun goes this summer, I think Nketiah's gone next summer, and we sign a striker next summer. But do you think we need a striker right now?
Ideally, yes. Yeah, straightforward, bro. Yeah, I think we do. In a perfect world, if this is FM, like I do get a bit sentimental sometimes, but I'm clicking add to transfer list for both Balogun and Eddie. Only Balogun because I know there is demand, and for Eddie because I don't think in the long run he's not going to be able to take us to that next level, And I know it's good. Like these are the type of B strikers that you want. You don't want your B striker to be an A striker, But again, I think he's like a C striker. If you see what I'm saying, like I don't think he's.
Who, Eddie?
Because like you were saying, like in a couple episodes before, like Eddie doesn't score off the bench, and you need to have that quality if you're going to be an off the bench striker, if you're going to be a super sub. Otherwise, because when he starts, he scores, but he doesn't do the other things that we get from Jesus, for example. So we need someone who can do both, who can start and score, and who can come off the bench and score. If I literally think really hard, I think he's only done that once. Maybe twice when he first scored against Norwich, when he first made his debut, and I think one time maybe 2 seasons ago, maybe even 3 seasons ago against Fulham at home. Other than that, I can't remember a time he's come off the bench and scored. So, bro, I'd say we need a striker, but I think again it might just be a step too far. I think maybe we'll settle the camp because in terms of transfer rumors, we haven't heard anything about Eddie. We're hearing everything about Balogun. I think that's the way it's going to go. It's going to be Balogun most likely to go. He wants to be the man somewhere. We're hearing about interest from Inter. Eddie will probably stay one more season, and then we go and get the striker when we've sorted out midfield and pretty much defense, and then we can put all our eggs into maybe getting a legit right winger to back up Saka and get a striker. In an ideal world, we'd be out there. I don't know who. I wouldn't know who right now.
I was just about to ask you again if you had unlimited funds and players aren't obviously like a Haaland that's just recently is within contract. I know there's obviously Mbappe. I know that saga of Mbappe is going on right now. But if we're to be realistic, outside of a Haaland, outside of a Mbappe, who is the striker? He's the guy that we go and get for that position.
And I think it's not even about someone maybe who appears to be scoring. It's the profile of player, because we've always been saying we need a different option, a different type. So we can't just be going for someone who appears to be good, like that kid from Barcelona, who's banging goals in the Euros. I can't remember his name.
Is that
plays for Benfica.
Plays for Benfica or Barcelona?
Benfica.
Who's that?
Gonzalo Ramos.
Oh,
like
him.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I like him a lot.
You said
to me,
Barcelona, that's why.
I said Barcelona. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, Benfica. Sorry, Benfica.
How can man play for Barcelona and Benfica?
No, sorry, yeah. A Benfica player. Yeah. So I like someone like him, but again, I don't know if he's going to be. I'm not sure about his height, and he seems quite physical, but I'm not sure about his height.
He seems like a good striker, yeah.
Yeah, so I like someone like him, young. Maybe he's been leading the line for Benfica, but it's Benfica and it's Portuguese league, so he could come in. Someone like him potentially, but then I don't know if you want to go for someone. I know previously you mentioned someone like Mediterranean, who plays for Porto, I believe.
Yeah. And
potentially being linked with him and putting out feelers and all that stuff. And he's more of a big man, but I like him. He's a good finisher, good hold-up play. But really, what I see, bro? I saw it on the MLS All-Star team. Normally on our kickoff, the ball goes back to Ramsdale and he just sends it into the corner. Havertz is there winning headers. I think Havertz is going to be I don't say he's going to be a striker, but I think even against Man United yesterday, I'm not sure if you noticed, he was finding himself like at the centre circle, at the penalty spot, like in the box when the ball was coming in from Saka on the right. So clearly, it's like once we're on the attack, you are allowed like a striker kind of flex kind of thing. And I just think even watching him do the long balls, now we've got that sort of Haaland, where before, even when we played City, they would go right over the top when we were pressing them, hit Haaland, he wins the header, then they're on the attack. So I think we're going to do something like that as well, where we've got the option where if we're not going short is difficult, we've got someone we can hit. And Havertz is winning headers in the air. He's actually very good in the air. So I think that's probably the stopgap for us, where I just don't see it happening, and not that we should be expecting it, but I don't see it happening because I think Arteta's thinking, I can kill half a bird with a stone kind of thing. I can fulfill the left eight thing, and also he could go up top. He could be an auxiliary striker. When we're pressing, it might be like a 4-4-2 and he goes to join Jesus and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think that's where we're at. But in a perfect world, yeah, I'd go and get that Ramos guy. Again, I'd have to do a bit more research in terms of the overall physicality and height and, if he could actually fit the game. I mean, our plays, he's smart enough, his passing ability, all that stuff. But he's a striker I just like generally, but I do think we need a striker, but I don't think it's a this season problem. And we showed last season that even with Jesus out, we get the job done. We're still scoring goals. Everyone's pulling their weight from all parts of the pitch. So yeah, it's not like a crazy pressing issue in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's something that we're gonna probably solve for sure next summer.
Yeah,
but if if bygones could be bygones, and there's no scaredy cats, should I say? would you sign Harry Kane?
Would I? Of course. What? Of course. Yeah.
How do you think generally Arsenal fans would take him in on some Sol Campbell thing? I mean, I would say he's more embedded in Tottenham's DNA, obviously, at this point than Sol Campbell was. Sol Campbell joined us.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of Arsenal fans would close their eyes and sign Harry Kane.
Oh my gosh, bro, they'd be stupid. That's like asking a Tottenham fan if they would sign flipping Saka. Is it? Of course they would. Of course they would. Because even at the very base of it, it's like taking one of their best players. It would be, oh my gosh, if we had Harry Kane, for all of the Spurs nonsense that, and, we don't like them, we hate them, all that stuff. If Harry Kane came and put on an Arsenal t-shirt, firstly, they'd be finished. There's nothing they could ever say. I wouldn't even want to hear a Tottenham fan even look at me again. They couldn't even look at me again. Like, what? What, you're talking off again? I swear we took your captain, bro. He's going to bring the record under us. But I think, honestly, if we had someone like Kane, I think we'd almost be complete, bro.
Yeah,
what
we
he
would.
can do. I saw things. There was like a comparison on Tifo about Balogun and what striker he's could potentially emulate, and it was Harry Kane because of his progressive passing. and Harry Kane's progressive passing is in like the 99th percentile. He's like the best striker. He's probably the best complete striker in world football, potentially, in terms of like doing it all, you know, assisting, scoring, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, Harry Kane in a heartbeat, bro. In a heartbeat, but fandom man at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Harry Kane has it in him. He doesn't come across as that kind of character that could do something like that. Because it takes a character. Not only the clubs negotiating your transfer fee and wages and that, it takes a character that can be like, yeah, I was the talisman for this club, but I'm moving to their direct rivals and I'm gonna come do it over here. Like Tevez for Man United and
even Van Persie.
And I know it's a bit different for these men that aren't necessarily from the country. Van Persie was probably a bit more ingrained in it at the time because he'd come here very young, and he felt Arsenal didn't do him well, so he didn't mind moving. But yes, Van Persie's a great choice. Tevez, it's them kind of characters that'll be like, I don't care about this. I don't care about all this moving over here,
trust me.
And I just don't think Harry Kane is that kind of guy. But generally, I do think we do need a more of an in the box striker. But is Mikel, does Mikel want to play like that? This is the other thing, which is I think it's unclear. But can we get better than a Gabriel Jesus 10 goals a season, and Nketiah, call it 6-7 a season maybe, and obviously the unknown of Balogun? We can 100% do better than them three.
Bro, I really think Jesus is the only striker that I think you can see the type of striker he's bought and what he wants them to do, you know, and Eddie and Balogun just don't really fit that, it would seem. So yeah, we can definitely make upgrades. I think that will be another exciting time to see the type of player that we go for if he does try to go for a different type of profile of player. I mean, it would be great if we could, but again, like I said, I think the focus of this season was definitely getting robustness in the midfield and the defense, because I mean, apart from Jesus being injured, we didn't really lose anyone else in attack. I mean, I know Fro wasn't there, but it didn't seem to. I mean, we definitely did need legs because people thought, oh, maybe Saka's getting a bit tired. Martinelli had that little bit of dip, but we did get Trossard and he came good. So there is a lot of rotation options up there, but it was midfield, losing Partey, losing Saliba, Tomiyasu, Zinchenko, all of that defensive midfield options that really lost us. That killed us off last season. So I think that's where the energy has gone towards, which is cool with me. Like I said, we didn't lack goals. Did we get to 100? I think we scored all in all like 103 goals, all comps.
Okay.
So, you know, something like that, I think. So, you know, we're good for goals and we need more. You know, Odegaard needs more. Martinelli needs to score more. Saka, definitely. I mean, even Eddie, I think Eddie needs like 15 Prem goals. I think Jesus needs minimum over 20. I think Saka, Martinelli, they should be pushing for like 20, 25 all comps. Odegaard 20 all comps. You know, this is like even Havertz as well. I need to see like 15 goals, 15 assists type flips. You know, this is that's what I'd be demanding. So yeah, the level can still go up.
Yeah, and if it's not a new striker, you're right in this is what it should be for the rest of these boys that are going to be in the team. Just raise those stakes and demand more in terms of goals and assists.
100%, man, 100%.